Hi everyone, Stacy here from Dies to Die For. Welcome to Tuesday night's card making video. Tonight we're going to be using our Easter lily and our wreath builder and making an Easter card. Let me get started by showing you how I did the brick background. I took our brick wall die and I just cut a piece out that I'm going to use as a mask or a stencil, whatever you prefer to call it. And I put it on a white piece of paper, and you can either tape it down or hold it down, or if you have pixie spray, you can pixie spray it. Take some of my yellow ink, and this one I obviously already used, but you can get quite a few uses out of each one that you make. On my backgrounds, I wanted a little bit darker in the middle and it to kind of fade out on the edges with maybe just a few dark spots. I'm not going to do the whole thing. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of something else that you can use your dies for. You don't always need a stencil. You can make a stencil right out of your dies. I'm just going to do the very center just so you have an idea, just like that. And then I took our torn edge rectangle and just centered it on there, taped it down and cut it out. And for the slimline we'll be doing, I used our torn edge slimline rectangle. I'm going to set this aside because I think I might use that on something else. Turned out kind of cool. Okay. Oh, and the ink I was using is the Simon Hurley Slippery When Wet. Then I have my A2 card base, which is 4.25 by 5.5. And then I cut a purple piece just a hair smaller. I don't know the dimensions because I just eyeballed it. I didn't really measure. And then I took my brick wall piece and I layered it on top. All the two outer pieces, the white piece I inked in pink and the purple piece I inked in purple. On my slimline when we get to it, I also inked around the edge of the torn edge with yellow. On the A2 cards, I did not do that, I only decided to do it when I was making the slimline. Okay, then I wanted a wooden cross, and we do have our 3 wooden crosses die right there, but I wanted something a little bit bigger, so I'm going to show you what I did right here. I took our slimline wood window, and then I cut one of the long pieces and kind of make it, just weave your scissors, kind of make it look like it's wood grain. I'll go back and fix that up in a minute. This is just to show you guys what I did. I'm not really going to be using this piece. Well, actually I might for the crossbar. Okay. There we have that piece cut out, and then for the crossbar, I cut the other side out. Since I already have this cut, I am just going to use this. Just eyeball it a little. And then take your scissors again and kind of go back and forth. You can also cut notches in it. Make it look a little bit more like the other side, or you can cut the other side off to match this side. That's how I made my cross. Then show you how I did the wreath. I used our wreath builder die set and I cut it out in white. For the slimline, I'm going to use the largest size right here. And for the A2, I'm using the inside one. I cut that out, then I inked around the edges in a pink. Then I cut my lilies out and I inked around the edges of those in pink. This is the Easter lily dye. And then built them all. I did the stems with green just by ink blending. Show you all the pieces and how I made them before we get started building. Okay, then I've already placed some lilies on here. And the reason you ink around the edge of this piece, in case there's a part showing through, like kind of right there, it'll make it look like it's just part of the wreath, part of the lily. Okay. Then I took my lilies and I just put glue in the center of them because this wreath is going to have ribbon and I didn't want to glue them all the way down in case I wanted to tuck ribbon underneath of them. Okay, then I just layered them all the right way around the wreath. You're going to wind up with about 10 lilies. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 8 right there. Here's 9. Hope I put glue on an extra one that I didn't need. Oh well, we'll just set that aside and let that one dry. We might be able to use it somewhere else. Okay, that's how easy your lily wreath is. See, there's the base. That, and then I have some green ribbon pieces somewhere around here. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now I'm going to take the 2 smaller ribbon pieces that you have on your wreath, that's on the wreath builder die. You only have it if you have the wreath builder die, but then you can either take them and lay them on your wreath like this, kind of tuck them in places, makes it look like it's going around the wreath or going wrapped around the wreath. Do that all different places like that, but that is not how I did the wreath on my card. I kind of decided I wanted about 4 ribbons on it. Might put 1 more on this one. And just eyeball a little bit where I thought I wanted them. Probably do 5 on this. Okay. Take them off. Then I am going to take my ribbon and just bend it under so it looks like it's wrapping right around my wreath. Like I said, you could make it do it either way. It still looks like it's wrapping around the wreath if you just lay it on top. But I wanted to try something new. And then you can, if you want, pop that up a little bit so it's dimensional. On the slimline card, I took a pop dot and I put it right, just 1 pop dot right underneath so the ribbon would stay puffed up. You could do that too. Okay, that one about right there. Or should it be going this way? I like it better this way. Okay, we'll wrap that one then. Turn it back over and make sure I have it where I want it. Right about there. And then the ribbons, you can wrap some loose, some tighter. Just depending on the look you're going for. You could make them all even if you want. That's definitely not how I do things. I have to vary them. But you do your own thing. Okay, now we have 3 of our ribbons on. See how that's looking? This one's just flat. I haven't puffed it up yet. Like that. That one right there, maybe. These wreaths are a lot of fun to make. And that one, the little white edge is showing a little. I would go back with some green and just do that so it looks like it's a complete, actually, let me see if I can get enough on there with. No, I'll have to use my brush later and do that. That one right there. And puff it up. There you go. There is your lily wreath. Now, the next step is to figure out exactly where you want your cross glued, because your wreath is going to go over your cross. Oops, that one came off. It wasn't quite ready to. Okay. Anyway, your wreath is going to go right over your cross. And you want it to appear as if your wreath is resting on the top part of the cross. So you have to figure out where you want this crossbar, where your wreath's going to be down low enough, but not down too low. So I think right there for me is good. Let me see, that might be over a little too far. Okay, there we go. There's our cross. Then I think I want the part with the most ribbons on the bottom there. Okay, then just tuck the lily wreath right around the cross. Tack it down. Now, put some glue on the back of the whole thing. Get it centered. There we go. Now, what's left, and after I cut my long piece out, I did trim it down a little bit so I wasn't working with this super long piece. It was more manageable for me. But once you get it down good, then trim the rest off. There's start. Then I took our banner piece from our wreath set and our Easter word that comes on our Easter fun word set. Cut the Easter word out in the banner and then inked both of them. I'm going to use some dimensionals, pop dots, whatever you call them. And I only have my minis here, so I'll just use a few more. Probably 2 more. Sorry, I'm not talking a whole lot tonight. I'm not feeling the greatest. I have an ear infection and a sinus infection. I really have felt so awful that it's taken me all day to get this card ready for you guys. But I got it done and I'm here now. Place our little banner right there. And then I took some of the lilies. For the wreath, we just used the single lily. I'm going to take 3 of the lily stems in the smaller size, and then 3 of the lily flowers, front-facing flowers. And I inked them, built them. This lily right here I put on a pop dot so it's popped up off the other flower a little bit. And I also did one, this is the way that they are when you cut them out, like this. For this one, because I wanted it going in the opposite direction, I actually flipped it upside down and inked it and made it up that way. It's real, with all the ink on there, it's hard to tell that it's upside down. Except my plates are really worn that I cut this on, so the ink tends to really stick to the spots that had the indents in them from the pad. Sure, if you had a clean pad, it wouldn't be such an issue. Okay, let me, okay. I put this one right in the center on the top. Put a little bit of glue on it. And then I did not put these all the way up on the page. I didn't want them that close to the wreath. So I put them down quite a bit further. Should I spread that one out? Yeah, I think we're going to put that on a little more of an angle and spread it out a little bit more. Last one. There, now it looks like you have a field of lilies at the bottom of your cross. And this card took a lot of inking. So if you're looking at it thinking, oh, she made that card in 20 minutes or 10 minutes. That's not really the case because I did a lot of inking before I even started my video. It's fun to do. I'm just warning you, it's not a quick card to make. Okay, now I like it that way, but I thought I always have to add sparkle. So I took some of my little pink fresh gems. And this card really gave me trouble with the placement of the gems. I just couldn't. Normally I would do probably like 3 here and 2 there, but it felt off if I just put gems on the top and bottom. So I wound up doing 2 over here, a smaller one, and then a medium size. I think there's 3 different sizes in these gems. And then I did a medium, and 2 small over here. A small one up here. And of course we had to add 1 on this side because right now there's 6 gems on there and we just cannot have that. We need an odd number. So I will put this one up here a little bit. Just like that. Now let me get these off of here. I'm not going to glue these down right now. I will glue them later because you don't want to see me gluing jewels. I do not have a jewel pick, and I make a big old mess. All right, let's move on to our slimline. For the slimline card, I am actually going to be using the bigger lily. See the bigger one? And I did it the same way as the other one. I used the bigger wreath. And then I layered them all around. Don't remember how many it took. 1, 2, 8, 9, 10. Did I count that one? 10 or 11. Okay, then I took my ribbons and I have another one somewhere around here, right here. And the ribbons I inked in the same green that I used on the stems for the lilies. And I did the same thing that I did on the smaller wreath, except this one, remember, has the pop dot in the middle. So I'm going to figure out where I want that placed and fold my edges over. Peel that back up and take the backing off of the pop dot. Maybe. There we go. Like that. Just glue these edges down then. And then the cross for the slimline, I made the same way, except when I got this part cut out, I didn't cut some off the bottom. I left it full length, like that. Then did my crossbar the same way. This one I did cut off both sides to kind of make it match up a little bit better. Then decide where you want your wreath. Glue it down again. A little glue on the And the slimline that I'm using tonight is 4 inches by 8.5. And I did it the same way that I did the A2, the same layers, same inking colors. Okay. One up there. See how those ribbons pop up and they stay up with those pop dots under them? I like it. Now I have some decisions to make. I have a few different options here. I have our little bow that also comes on the Wreath Builder set. Show you that I could put on here. I have our same banner with the Easter word, the same way that we did it for the slimline. My decisions are just in placement. I do know I put some of the lilies on pop dots because I wanted to place them different places on the wreath and give it a little bit more dimension. So I'm pretty sure I want to do that still. The question is, what else do I want to do with it? Because I thought the wreath up here was looking a little bit busy with just the bigger lilies, and so I was thinking maybe putting some of these lilies down here just on pop dots. I only used one stem, then the rest I just have freely on there. And then I could maybe put this across down here. Or another option is I have the wooden crosses from our 3 wooden crosses set. I could put those down there. Or I could put these up here somewhere. Nope, that wreath's already busy enough. I definitely don't want them up there. I'm thinking that I like them down here, staggered a little. Or another option is not to use the other 2 crosses and just add more of the lily. Thought I had another big lily built, I guess not. Add more of the big lily stems. And then again, a few pieces of our jewels here. Maybe something like that. I think so. I think I really kind of wanted to use these wooden crosses on here, but I just think it's too much. So we're not going to do that tonight. Oh, still haven't even placed my banner though.